Meg choked with rage. Eugenie pips Meghan to the post with new move putting an end to Sussex career. Princess Eugenie has pipped Meghan Markle to the post and launched the first episode of her weekly podcast. The Queen's granddaughter, 33, announced on Instagram that the first episode of her podcast, Floodlight, is available to download today. The podcast is designed to promote her charity, the Anti-Slavery Collective, which she founded with her best friend Julia de Boinville in 2017, and will feature the pair's interviews with figures involved in the fight against modern slavery, including Dame Emma Thompson. The first guest is Caroline Haughey QC, who prosecuted the largest modern slavery trial case in the UK's history. This comes as her cousin-in-law Meghan Markle is preparing to release her own much-anticipated podcast Archetypes later this summer, almost 2 years after she and Harry signed their Spotify deal. Writing on Instagram today, Eugenie proudly announced the Anti-Slavery Collective's new venture. "My charity, the Anti-Slavery Collective, is delighted to announce its new podcast, Floodlight," she wrote on the platform. "Join me, and my co-founder, Julia de Boinville, each week as we sit down with guests from all walks of life who are helping to combat modern slavery in a variety of ways." Prince William also beat his sister-in-law Meghan Markle by making his first podcast this year. Prince William surprised many when he appeared on a podcast episode for climate change. Many felt that he beat his sister-in-law Meghan Markle by doing so because the Sussex fans have been waiting for years to hear her next podcast episode. The Duke of Cambridge made a surprise appearance on the Climate for Change podcast with Academy Award-winning actress Cate Blanchett. Prince William's podcast appearance came after the relaunch of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's Archie audio, which will release Meghan Markle's own podcast this year. Prince Harry and Markle signed a reported $25 million deal with Spotify in December 2020. The couple produced a 2020 holiday special for Spotify. The 34-minute special featured a collection of personal anecdotes and inspirational stories from celebrity guests, including James Corden, Tyler Perry, Naomi Osaka, and more. In 2021, the royal couple never released a single podcast episode, prompting some fans to question their Spotify deal. Several netizens even mocked the Sussexes on Twitter for the lack of content. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry signed a $25 million podcast deal with Spotify, but didn't produce a single piece of content in 2021, Morning Brew wrote while sharing a meme about the issue on Twitter. Some also made fun of the issue, saying they wished they could have the same multi-million deal without doing anything. "Need some deals like this in my life," one wrote. Another added, "Where can I get a deal like that? Are we sure they weren't paid not to make a podcast?" A third user asked. Spotify announced last month that Markle would release her podcast Archetypes this summer. The Duchess podcast will dissect, explore, and subvert the labels that try to hold women back, Vanity Fair reported. "I'll have conversations with women who know all too well how these typecasts shape our narratives. And I'll talk to historians to understand how we even got here in the first place," Markle said in the teaser. Due to the long wait for Prince Harry and Markle's podcast, some fans felt that Prince William beat them by starring in a podcast himself, ahead of Markle's Archetypes premiere, Daily Star reported. This comes as Meghan Markle has confirmed her much-anticipated Spotify podcast is due to be released later this summer. The Duchess of Sussex has unveiled her first Spotify series, a podcast about female stereotypes in which she vows to investigate labels that try to hold women back. A trailer of the Archie audio project was released in late March. Meghan and Harry signed a lucrative deal with the audio streaming giant to host and produce podcasts, estimated to be worth around £18 million, in late 2020. But they had only released one show so far, a holiday special featuring their son Archie and celebrity guests.